Now before I go putting the wax on the body, I want to show you this poly all along here. It's a buildup, which is like a mountain inside the cavity. The cavity itself is quite rough as well. So I have to get this switch back in the hole for now. I had a piece of tape to hold that on there, which I think is back at the little workbench behind me. We'll just try to do that for the moment. And I'm going to use my tools again, my 2015 neck pocket tool, to just try to take down the edge of this poly, to flatten it out and maybe flatten out some of those rough edges in there as well. The side walls are not too bad, a little rough there, and you know, they put paint in all of that rough stuff, so it makes it even harder in the end. But I'm pretty sure that's not supposed to have a big lip built up inside the pocket after all the experience. That's going to change the angle of the neck. I don't want to damage the outside part of it. It's rough and that's rough, and then here's the softer one. Okay, it's pretty good. Let's run this down inside there for now. Alright, that made a little dust. Okay, so that smoothed out the pocket a little bit. Took the lip off the edge. Is that a chip? Oh no, it's white paint. No, it's a chip. It's a chip and the white primer underneath. I didn't do it. It was there when I got it. But because it's white and red, it looks like it was meant to be there. Alright. Okay, I'm going to clean up the body, wax it, and I'm still thinking about what am I going to do with the pickups. Oh, yeah, I have some rough stuff in here I want to clean up too. There's some rough edges. And then back here where there's some wood showing, I had to pull some chips off back here. I'm just going to put some black paint in here, because underneath this area of the bridge you'll be able to see that. Down here you won't. It's kind of rough here where the wires go, so I'm just gonna go over it with my end and smooth it out a little bit. Okay, the wax is done on the body. It turned out pretty nice. Whoa, way better than it was. On the back there's still a tiny little bit where it looks like it might have been a fingernail or something in the poly there, but about 80% of all the swirls are gone, and the front has looked pretty good too, so I'm pretty happy with that. So now it's what am I going to do with the electrics? It could be that the Yibbies will look best in here. Not too sure. Well, that won't fit with the cable there. Some Yibbies with some chrome covers, or just the white ones. This is the copy of, what are they called? Something with an A. And then here I've got Fleors, all white, 1511. So could be white with chrome trim rings. and I still want to ponder how I'm going to wire them. I was a big fan of maybe putting in two volume pots here. So I got to go look at some schematic diagrams and make a choice. And in the meantime, before I do that, I'm going to blacken up some of the stuff back here and wait for that to dry, and then I'll go ponder on the electrics. I bought some of this acrylic crafters paint, and it's flat black, and I think it's going to do the trick in the hole. I've used it in a couple of small places before, and it blackens up the area quite nicely. Alrighty then, the electrics are in. I went with the 2 volumes and the tone pot. Push-pull only on the bridge. The wiring is nice and neat for the switch with the multi-conductor. I forgot that I had purchased a 4-conductor in one sheath, which is small enough to go right through the body without having to worry about multiple conductors going up there. I have mounted the neck and put in the EB Invader copies, and I have it set up. The bridge is set up with these Orphe sacrificial strings. It's balanced very nicely. The nut is sitting fairly well, and I kind of lucked out a little bit. It's actually maybe, 2 thou lower on those bass strings than I normally want, but even with that, it's working out. Wilkinson's on the headstock, and the neck seems to be sitting flat enough that I don't think I'm going to need to shim it, but there is a slight possibility that I will end up with one. Yeah, I could probably do it a little bit better, but for now, the playability seems good. I'm going to see, I've got to move to my other bench, and I'm going to see if I'm going to need to shim that a little bit. I also took some of the gloss off the back of the neck. It's still shiny up there. See how shiny that was in the light? And then it's not. I just took that off with sponge sanding. It's now satin, very smooth. And so it's time to move benches, which will involve possible shimming and changing these strings over to a set of 9 to 42 D'Addarios. Here we go. Here we are, the Wolf copy Frankie. So the Invader copies are in this one. I think it looks nicer with chrome trim rings than just open pit, body. And we've got our 3 knobs, 2 volumes, 1 tone, push-pull in the center. It's fully set up. It's been sitting around for about 4 hours, and I picked it up and I checked the tuning, and every one of them is still in tune. So yay, that kind of worked. I haven't cut that yet. Still open on the back. I got it set up with only 2 springs, and it turned out really nice in the end. Quite a good shine on it now. There's still some stuff, but overall, with 4 or 5 passes of compound and a couple of waxes, turned out pretty good. There's some dust on it from flying around here, but yeah, it's all right. So we are on the bridge, and we have our famous D chord. These invaders, they have a certain level of articulation, especially when I'm talking about the bridge here. But it has that little bit of a growl to it because, you know, it's supposed to be that, you know, heavier kind of stuff output. And I had these. These are the same pickups, or this one is the same pickup that I had on my Oscar Strat. So that came in at the Zebra pickguard. So this is the same one as that one. The split I did with a 2.7 resistor, Verlin resistor. Oops, that was split. Oh, here it is. Even louder, look. No pedals on, guys. High output, and it has a little bit of a warmth to it, but it still has the articulation. Unless you do. But even though some of these frets I had to take a lot of meat off of, they're still big, and you can really feel that they're there. No shim in the neck at this point, and it's pretty much, you know, and the action is in my spec. Really nice action. Oh yeah, and it's set up to whammy. So this project started off with, this was a $220 guitar, $80 shipping. It's very poorly made in a way. I didn't get a chance to show much of it, but you know, I was really surprised at the hole for the switch, you know, which they routed it, and then they found it wasn't deep enough, and then they gouged it with a chisel in there. Bridge works fine with 2 springs. Electronics cavity was big enough for the 3 knobs. Really happy with that. We have independent volumes. Neck. Really warm. If you played it really hard, it would, I guess, considered to be into the muddy. And here's the thing, right? The neck pickup has a 7.53K resistance, but the output from it is substantial. In the middle, knobs are completely up. If you roll it off a little bit, so I thought that these pickups were appropriately for this style guitar. Happy with the outcome. Happy. I normally don't go for this kind of a neck pickup. That would be warmish like that. But I put the bleed circuits in both of the volumes, and I'm able to split this one down, which makes it useful. And I put only a 22 cap in the tone, so turned out okay, guys. In the end, what did I have to buy? Really, I already had the tuners here, $40. I already had the switch here, which is like $12. And the other two that I put in here, I already had them as well, the Korean-made alpha pots. So an extra 40, let's say it's 10, right? So 50, okay, round it up to 60. So in the end, let's see, we've got say 220, 300 with shipping, 360 overall, and I end up with my own Frankie, my way. I like it. Fret ends are beautiful now, smooth. The satin I did on the back of the neck by taking off the gloss is really nice. So now I can say I have one, even if I only ever use it as wall art, for instance. It's pretty. Yeah, it's pretty now. Okay, guys, that's it. Might see this one around, who knows. Appreciate all your support. Catch you in the next one.